Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sheikh Yabudi. I know exactly what you need to be as amazing as me. This right here.
What's in it?
Islam. Go ahead, open it.
Whoa.
You're glowing. Yeah, instant upgrade. People think they need coffee, Wi-Fi, more followers. No, they need this. And when they get it, boom.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the... No, I made myself laugh, man.
What the heck was that?
Shaky Booty, man. I recently heard from him. He was roaming in the desert and all that, so decided to put up a video of him.
Yeah, it's weird. He used to kind of sound like you. Now he's using his regular voice. Before he was imitating you, but now he's using his own voice. He sounds totally different.
Yes. That's true. So anyway, that was Shaky Booty. I heard he's making a comeback soon. With a song and then with regular videos. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How's everybody doing? David, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? Hey, I just posted, because I shared the link to this live stream, and I said we're live discussing the Tucker Carlson Iran scandal, but I don't know if it's actually a scandal. I don't know anything about it. I know he was saying the FBI or CIA was monitoring his...
I thought you were going to say he was saying the F word.
Text messages or something. Is it a scandal? I don't know anything about it. Is it? What is it? Is something going on?
It is very much a scandal.
Checking his messages.
The funny thing is that nobody broke the news. He did. He said in advance that I found out that apparently the CIA is investigating me, and they're soon going to end up opening a criminal case against me and all that. And I don't know why. It's just because I was talking to some Iranians before the war. So that's he said something along those lines. But
don't we talk to Iranians all the time?
Yes. Naturally,
I'm guessing it's more than he was talking to some Iranians.
Naturally, everybody's thinking the exact same thing, which is that he probably did something that he's not supposed to do by the laws which protect the United States of America from treasonous people and from spies. And he was very dumb while doing it, as he usually is, and now got wind that he's about to get in trouble for it. So he decided to announce it in a significantly milder way to kind of get the public on his side before it happens.
And you always gotta pull a Andrew Tate, who's pulled this move so far. Keep in mind, guys, I don't know what Tucker did or did not do and stuff, but lots of times when someone preemptively announces things, it's because they know something's coming and they want to kind of throw their fans off. So we saw Tate do this once he was informed that all the stuff that he'd been doing for years was actually illegal. It's trafficking, and that he would be facing charges. Then all of a sudden, he came out and said, "The Matrix is. I've heard that the Matrix is going to attack me. The Matrix is going to attack me because the Matrix is upset about my empowering message to young men. I'm empowering them to work hard and get Bugattis, and so they don't want that powerful message spreading." So he did that. Then Mohammed Hijab, when he knew that Sister Aisha his ex-wife was going to expose him for his little hotel wife scandal, he came out and said, Elon that was my Andrew Tate voice. Elon Musk has been sending me messages through a mediator who's saying that they're going to frame me for a scandal. And it's like, okay, scandal's coming. And now we've got Tucker. Oh, I mean, all I did was, I communicated for journalism purposes and with some Iranians, and then now because I'm on the wrong side of the Iran war, they're going to frame me and lock me up and throw away the key. Smart.
So I just need to put out this message for two interested parties. One of them is Matt Fred, Pints with Aquinas. He beautifully and very nicely gifted me this rosary. What the heck? You have my rosary? What is it?
You left it here. You left it here because when we were live and you were busy stealing something of mine and left your own thing here.
You should have run after me and said, "Hey, you forgot this." But anyway, so Mad Fred Pines with Aquinas gifted me this beautiful rosary from this online rosary shop, Theotokos Rosaries, which is beautiful. I've been carrying it with me all this time. However, earlier, just now, as David was talking, I just grabbed the crucifix and it just broke off. So I want a replacement, dear Theotokos Rosaries. I hereby demand a replacement.
Saying they fall apart when you get them is not a good advertisement for.
No, to be fair, I have been using this very roughly, as I do everything, for the longest time, and I trusted that it was extremely solid.
Not the way the Zoot used Muhammad roughly.
Dude, I thought you don't make these jokes anymore, man.
I don't. I'm pointing out factual information. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? You're not using it like that, right? Okay, that's just factual statement. Come on, it's not a joke.
Yes, I don't use it in that way. I use it in better ways. So I've been very rough with it, and now I got what I deserve, and I broke it. So
hey, hold up. Steve.B8872 says, this is the second time this situation has happened between David and AP. Are these streams pretty recorded? Yes.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about, but this is a pre-recorded stream, so there's no way we would know.
Yeah, this is obviously a pre-recorded case. So any interactions with the chat right now that are happening at this moment are not happening live, because this is a recording that we recorded several days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but you guys are so predictable. You guys are so predictable that we anticipate your comments from the future.
Yes. For example, I just highlighted this comment from the future, Dragon Ball Zoot. I knew it's all AI. Exactly.
Yep. We brought a ray gun from the future.
Just to shoot
you.
Man, you're teasing me with these Eminem lines, man. I have to go into the whole thing. Yeah. Ray gun.
If you're hang on, put that back up. If you're live... He said, if you're live, how many fingers am I holding up? Well, if you're Bibi Netanyahu, you're holding 6 up. Although it looks suspiciously like 5 when I count, but everyone says it's 6.
I will tell you exactly how many fingers you're holding up, and you know it's true. Adam Smith, chill. 3.
Boom.
See? How about that? Candace was right. Candace was right about nothing.
Hysterian said, weren't you an atheist, Ridvan?
Hey, look at that. Steve B. The rosary situation has happened before. This is definitely pre-recorded, you see. I see. Yeah. The rosary situation did indeed happen before. It's a good indication of what I just said, which is that I handle things very roughly, which is why I shouldn't be playing with things like these very much. It did indeed happen before. No, it's because you both time travel. This is true. What's up, Ida? Ida is beast. So, I have been gone for a little bit over a week. Was traveling.
Yes,
did some good stuff. And actually sat down and recorded several videos that are supposed to be published. Hey, by the way, David, for years you asked me to record proper videos again and to publish them, so I did. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, congratulations to me. Everyone who likes anything AP put out, or he puts out in the very near future, you have me to thank, because I kept telling him to make regular videos. No one else did, not one person. But I told him, hey, maybe get back to some regular videos. But if the videos turn out to suck, then that's on him for making lame videos.
Why's my camera unsure? But, no, I was actually going to make videos a long time ago, but I didn't make videos because David kept asking me to make videos. So that's why I delayed it. And recently he didn't tell me anything, so I decided to record a video. The funny thing is, I was supposed to take a trip to visit your good friend Jorge, and work together with him, record videos, give him the production of my videos and things like that. What I did was, just before I took off, I sat down and recorded the video about Mohammed and Baphomet and thought, oh, good, I did it. I recorded it. Now it's time to transfer this on my hard drive and take it with me to then produce it over there. So I transferred it on my hard drive. Then I took off. Then I landed, and I arrived at Jorge's place to prepare for everything and do the production and all that. And then I realized I don't have my hard drive with me. I left it at home, so I had to sit down and record the video again over there, and then do it in a better setting, because it was actually in the Dune universe, in the sand, while being surrounded by sandworms. So I hope people appreciate what kind of sacrifice I've gone through to make that video. I also made several other videos, and am now on a trajectory to make more videos and live streams. And hey, we are back. We are back. I'm also going to publish a kind of like a promotionary video announcing all that, so don't panic, anybody.
Well, I told everyone this is going to be the best Ramadan ever. And I have to say, if AP gets back to making videos, that'll be a pretty darn good Ramadan, especially with everything else that happened.
Why is my camera unfocused? Jack Ray, will Tehran Tucker run to his Moscow masters? It is a very, very good question. We are actually going to sit down today and watch exactly what Tucker Carlson said. We're going to look at his announcement of the situation. We're going to analyze how he depicted everything that is supposedly about to happen to him, the persecution that he's supposedly about to be subjected to by the U.S. government, and find out more about what he has actually been doing, or just get a little bit of a hint of it. It's going to be very, very interesting.
Well, I was just sitting around, singing the Star Spangled Banner, looking at the American flag, thinking about how much I love America and how much I'm willing to defend it. But then the Epstein crew didn't like that, so they framed me.
Let's see. Okay, all right. Let me share my screen. So all the talk of the town is Tucker Carlson at the moment, and I thought, what a wonderful thing to jump into and talk about, because just earlier today I was sitting there and thinking to myself, it would be really nice to put a graph out there and to draw the line, not in the Zoot sense, but to draw a line and to separate those who are supporters or friends of America as Americans and those who are enemies of America. And Tucker Carlson will probably be the number one on the side of enemies of America. Enemies of the United States of America. I stand by that.
Hey,
we're going to find out more about that.
Hey, that's cool that Dinesh is sharing something from Armin and Goldie there.
Yes. That's true.
Real Iranians.
This is the moment. So Dinesh D'Souza shared this. This is the moment Gamari and Atheist Republic, so Goldie Gamari and Armin Navabi discovered that the Iranian regime was featuring Tucker Carlson as one of its influential advocates. Their astonishment is palpable. Let's have a look at this before we get into what Tucker Carlson did.
Hold up. Hang on. Wait, this is Dinesh recording, like using his cell phone to record a screen instead of just downloading the video and posting a clip? What?
Dinesh is probably just watching these guys and recording with his camera. It's funny.
Pretty high tech.
Yeah.
It's live on Islamic Republic's. They're airing on Sedo Sima on Islamic Republic's TV. They're airing live stream. Show that.
Super quiet.
It is super quiet. It's because it's a recording from off the TV screen. So.
They're translating it in real time in Persian.
So you can't hear what Tucker is saying. I can barely hear it either. But
what channel was this on? I'll get the real one, man.
It's also because it's translated into. So they dubbed his speech and translated it into Persian to broadcast it in Iran for the population. This is what the Islamic regime did.
Guys, so when I tell you that Tucker Carlson is Islamic regime propaganda, look at this. The Islamic Republic is now taking, right? They're taking. They're literally taking his garbage interviews and they're translating it because this is propaganda.
So what she's saying is that this is it's very clear, exactly as we say, which is that Tucker Carlson is basically does Islamic regime propaganda and propaganda for the enemies of the United States of America. In this case, you can see the Islamic regime state TV putting out directly translating and publishing an interview that Tucker Carlson conducts, right? So they don't do that with anybody else. They don't do that with regular shows, with regular people. They do that with those who are on their side, with those they approve of. They translate his interview and put it directly on their state, on their national TV channels to show to the population as, hey, look, guys, this guy is one of us. He says good things. He says good things. Everyone should listen to him. All Iranians should listen to him and not to those foreign agitators, not to the United States of America. And the Islamic regime is doing this as propaganda, by the way, against the vast majority of the Iranian population, which is against the Islamic regime, which is against the Islamic Republic. They know that the majority of the Iranian population are, they hate the Islamic Republic and they fight against it.
Yo,
what?
Yo, do you want to play it from their channel? I looked up where that clip is at.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Send it to me in private chat.
Okay, I will send it to you. And this is, well, I'll give you the time when I send it to you here. Where's private chat? Private chat. Here we go.
Oh, you finally found the private chat. Wow.
Super sophisticated. Tech genius. That's why they call me Tech Genius David.
Tech Genius.
And it looks like they start this around 4:15, a little after 4:15. It goes like a 7-hour thing. So.
Oh, she always does these extremely long live streams. It's kind of funny. It's very nice. 4:15, you say?
4.
Here.
Yep.
The Islamic Republic.
Dude, what?
Wait, what? Oh, hang on. That's her watching her. That's them watching themselves from a previous live stream. What the heck?
This is her watching the very same clip that we just.
Man, I just skimmed it until I saw what matched Dinesh's thing. Okay. So this had to be on a different one, right? Okay. I will find the original if it exists.
Very, very professional, man. Very professional. Very professional show. So anyway, Goldie says to say I was shocked was an understatement. This is the same night the terrorist Islamic Republic occupying Iran shut down the internet and began mass slaughtering 30,000 unarmed Iranians in 48 hours. We just didn't know it yet. That's very, very much it. So it's actually an older clip of their reaction.
Oh, okay, older one. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to find that.
They're very, very much aware of their of how the Islamic regime operates and how much they use people like Tucker Carlson to do their bidding for them. And keep that in mind. This is actually very, very crucial and very important to the very same topic that we are talking about today. Furthermore, here's something similar of the very same trend. Here is Dave Smith. I don't know if you've seen this, David. You probably have. But Dave Smith posted this yesterday. He said, Islam is such a violent religion. Every time we murder a bunch of their children and they try to kill some of us. Disgusting. He's sarcastically trying to dig at people who get angry over Islamic terrorism and trying to say, well, of course they will commit terrorist attacks because they're just doing that as a response to us murdering their children in wars and all that. This is comic Dave Smith. This is, I mean, stuff like this was popular to say among leftists like 10 years ago, and this guy is promoted nowadays as this great propagandist, as this great genius with great opinions, and he's spinning this new this old propaganda in new terms today. There is some research that has been done by Right Angle News Network, which puts out this breaking new analysis of comic Dave Smith's viral post in which he justifies Islamist attacks on America shows that roughly 90 to 95% of the accounts reposting it are foreign or radical Islamic accounts. As you can see here on the side, you will see lots of reposts from Islamic backgrounds, from Muslim countries, Islamists, some of the non-Islamic allies of Islamic terrorists, like this guy here, Shael Ben Ephraim, or that supposed pastor somewhere up there. But they basically scroll through through who actually reposts this kind of stuff, and I just noticed one thing here. Oh, here's Ijaz. Ijaz is reposting it. Ijaz is reposting Dave Smith. This here is Milli Gazete. It's a Turkish newspaper that is the newspaper of radical Islamists who are all about overturning the democracy, the democratic system, and installing an Islamic regime in Turkey as well. So these are the kind of sources, the kind of people, the kind of groups that repost and spread stuff that Dave Smith posts. It's very, very disgusting. It's very disgusting. Very, very, very disgusting. And of course, this is such a ridiculously stupid point, considering that Islam has been violently trying to subjugate and subjugating nations, populations left and right, slaughtering Christians, advancing into the Christian world, taking over Spain and India and all that for 1,400 years, which has nothing to do with us killing their children or anything like that. Unless you want to believe that somehow the West were killing the children of the Muslims, which is why they decided to expand out of Arabia into Spain and India. So dumb. So let's get to Tucker Carlson's. Oh, I posted this. I said Islam famously only gets violent when you murder their children. That's how it expanded to Spain and India within 1 century after Muhammad. People don't really often realize that this is the spread of Islam within a bit over a century after Muhammad. From 630s to 750, this was the extent of the Islamic expansion. The vast majority of this was done through warfare. It started out with Muhammad subjugating the Arabian Peninsula, and then brutally expanding violently into different lands of the Roman Empire or the Byzantine Empire, and then further into the Iranian territories, into further north into Anatolia, North Africa, Spain, India. This was all done within just a century through warfare. This is what Islam is. It's not just violent because we tend to kill their children or kill a bunch of their children or anything like that. Only a stupid idiot would believe something like that.
Hey, it is pretty awesome. I mean, if those dudes made it from Arabia all the way out to India in the east and all the way across northern Africa and up into Europe in the west by defense, that is some defense, man. That is some serious defense.
Some big defense.
They were just minding their own business, but people kept dropping bombs on their kids, so they kept taking more and more until they were all the way out and all the way up into Europe.
This reminds me of that very, very funny moment. when Mohammed Hijab was arguing to Dr. Jordan Peterson that the rapid expansion of Islam is actually a proof for Islam, that Allah was guiding it and Allah was doing this miraculously. And then Jordan Peterson asked, so why didn't it expand into Europe? And Mohammed Hijab is like, well, it
didn't work there.
It didn't work there. It wasn't.
It doesn't work everywhere, man. Not everything works everywhere, man. It's like me thumping my chest and going, yes, you'll be humiliated. It works with my stupid followers, but it doesn't work in court. Not everything works everywhere. What are you, stupid?
Man. What is this, man? IP is live with Redeemed Zoomer right now.
Okay.
Look at this, man. Can you imagine something nerdier happening?
Fireballs going viral fulfill stunning end times prophecy.
Will Iran cause the end times? This is IP, as if that wasn't nerdy enough, together with Than and Redeemed Zoomer.
That's going to cause it's about to give me a nerd seizure or something like that. They're about to induce a nerd seizure. You can't have that much on the screen, man.
Dude. And then there's this guy, whoever that is, looks also like a nerd.
But it's funny. That's what I mean. It's funny. It's like you got three nerds, three dorky nerds, three dorky nerds. But then it's like, look, they're picking this dude just because it makes them look cool by comparison. You know what I mean? Like that's how they decide what they're going to respond to. They're like, hey, can we find someone even nerdier than we are? It's like, I don't know. All right, search the internet, everyone. Search the internet.
But yeah, just to be serious, I actually like Redeemed Zoomer. I like his channel and his takes. It's kind of interesting. And shout out to IP. Good guys.
IP too.
Me too. Yes. All right. Let me take a few super chats before we watch this stupid video. So Tucker Carlson said when he discovered the CIA has been reading your texts in order to frame you for a crime. That's what he posted. And he speaks about it. He himself is the one who announces that something is happening and that the CIA is probably coming after him. So we're going to have a look at that in 2 minutes or 3 or 4 or 5. Jack Ray, if AP could travel back in time, he would still be late. Probably. I always thought if I could travel back in time, I would probably go and visit Muhammad and do some nice things to him. What would you do if you could travel in time, David?
Help Islam even more. Man, they have made it impossible to find their original live stream because there's like 1 trillion of them.
You're still on that, dude.
Yeah, I'm about to give up.
Allah's shiny cheek says, I see videos, I press like because Christianity is based. Yes.
Christianity is based.
Ida Rogozin said, there's nothing like making yourself laugh. I do it all the time. So happy to see you two together. I missed you streaming more together. And yes, IP, I know it's your fault. I know it's my fault too, yes. But it's also not. So there you go. Mike Roch Winger says, they're arresting Tucker because of Israel. Megan. Zoop says, it looks like Mujtaba is actually gay, AP. Please make AI version of the song Small Town Boy. About Mujtaba being gay and running. That'd be funny. Yeah, it turns out there's no solid intelligence that he's apparently gay or something, but I don't know much about it, and I don't know how much of it is just part of some, operations or anything. But there seems to be some solid evidence, according to the government, that the new Ayatollah of Iran is gay.
Well, I mean, that didn't rule out Muhammad, so
yeah.
Look, man, what a man does out in the desert with 30 zut men is nobody's business.
That's true. It also turned out, according to verified reports, that that the new supreme leader and Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei took multiple trips to the West to get himself checked for potential reproductive impotence. He came to the West to see why his reproductive system doesn't work, to check if he's impotent and to get treatment for it.
Does he not know that the Zut can impregnate a dude? Does he not know that?
I don't know. I mean, he probably did the whole thing with dudes, and he was like, why are they not getting pregnant? I need to take a flight to visit some hospitals and to see this checked. When I was afraid that they would get pregnant, but they're not getting pregnant, maybe something is wrong with me. I don't know. Maybe it's just women who get pregnant. I don't know. Honey T made a super chat. I like listening to your intro music at 1.5 speed. That is fantastic. I shall try that myself. Thank you for the fantastic super chat, Honey T. Less Spicy Ramen. AP, congrats on 600,000 subscribers. So happy to see you live again, especially with Dawood. May God bless you and strengthen you. Much love. Always keep the faith. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. I'm also happy to go live. I almost didn't go live because I felt very tired and exhausted and too overwhelmed with stuff at the moment, but I thought, I cannot rest. I must go live. The enemy doesn't sleep. So yeah, thank you. God bless you. Prophet Ken Dumb was right. Time travelers. Oh yeah, okay, that's what we mean. Sent y'all a tweet with a link to an awesome Tucker impression from SNL. Said Chase. I do appreciate that. However, I think that while the Tucker Carlson impression on SNL, which I myself have seen, was on point in terms of the mannerisms, I think it was so outdated and out of touch. Because what they were basically doing is they were parodying Tucker Carlson based on what Tucker Carlson was like 20 years ago, and parodying him like he is an actual, like he's a regular conservative or something. When the problem with Tucker Carlson is not anything like that, nor is Tucker Carlson like that anymore. He's simply a shill and possibly an agent, or a confirmed agent at this point, of foreign governments, and also simply a Jew-obsessed, Jew-hating, Islam-loving propagandist. But of course, SNL wouldn't make fun of that because they would be making fun of themselves. Smiley Glitter, super sticker. Thank you. I appreciate that. Luke Blaze, will you please press the Christianity is based and it is extremely based button since Succession? Thank you. I don't have it is extremely based button, but I have a Christianity is based and it is totally based button.
Christianity is based.
It is totally based.
Hope that works. Hope that helped. Good. Mike Rochwinger, I love how 50 million Tucker role plays as a rural hick. And Time Phaser, hey AP, I should have friend the Gargage Hadith and your song. Now the Gargage tree has become our inside joke. Could you give a shout out to 9VC, please? Shout out to 9VC.
Hey, yo, what's up, 9VC?
9VC.
9VC represent. What's up with the 9VC squad?
Hi there, says your video on Baphomet was great, AP. Never heard that before. The correlation with Baphomet and Momo, eye-opening. Loved the background imagery and the right mic. Thank you, I appreciate that. It was a good setting. It's kind of funny. I I was supposed to choose a background for the video, and I decided to randomly pick a desert. That looks nice. And then it was only after I published that I realized how much it looks like I'm either in the Star Wars or the Dune universe. And then all the comments are all about Dune and Star Wars. So very nerdy, very nerdy. And I haven't even watched the Dune movies, which I should probably do at some point. But thank you. I appreciate that. There's actually something that I didn't include in the video, and I kind of wish I had, which was that I didn't really explain why Western Europeans were calling Muhammad Mahomet. And the strong correlation there is that, or the strong reasoning, which is somewhat supported, but not fully established, is that it was in other languages, like in the Turkic languages, the Turks, which refer to Muhammad as Mohammed or Mehmet, which is how the Western Christians adopted the name Mahomet instead of something like Mohammed. And that led to Baphomet. But this is only, so there is evidence for this, but it's also part speculation because the Turkic influence into the whole delivering of information to Europeans comes a little bit too late. Christian Theologetics says, any good books on the Islamic dilemma? Yes, the book that David Wood is supposed to write and publish, which I told him 50 million times, and which he's supposed to publish this year, but probably won't.
No, it will be published this year, but
Don't say but.
Chris from Speaker's Corner, his will be out first, so everyone should roll with that one. Hey, AP.
What?
I was trying to find stuff.
What?
I was trying to find the original. But so I was looking through every single one, and then Jai said, "Here it is. I found it." And so here's the link, and it's time stamped even.
You're still doing that.
I'm just saying, play the original so we can understand what the heck they're saying.
Man.
Time stamp, man. Boom. Look at that. Look familiar? Does that look familiar? That looks familiar to me.
David is obsessed with Armin and Goldie.
That looks familiar to me.
Yeah. What the hell is happening to my... What is happening?
You're supposed to push play.
Public TV, they're airing.
Why is there a gap on the right side? Anyway, whatever. I don't care.
God.
Show that. They're translating it in real time in Persian.
چه کسی مسئول این افتراهاست؟ چرا اسمش رو نمیتونم بدونم؟ جوابشون
با یه جمله خشک و خالی جواب میدن که طبق سیاست‌های بخش ویرایشی ما.
Guys, so when I tell you that Tucker Carlson is Islamic regime propaganda, look at this. The Islamic Republic is now taking, right? They're taking.
این قوانین ماست.
They're literally taking his garbage interviews and they're translating it because this is propaganda.
Tucker sounds kind of funny in Persian.
That's funny. He's with Larry Sanger, man.
Like imagine how much of a traitor you have to be to your own country, to the point where the Islamic Republic is literally, guys, you know what's crazy about this? Like, I mean, let me pause this for a moment. What's crazy about this is that it's literally civil war. It's civil war in Iran right now. Like we're seeing all these videos of like people out in the streets in the millions. People are being massacred. You heard that man from Mashhad. He's literally begging President Trump. Now, this channel, guys, this is actually considered the 24-hour news channel. Okay, so Khabar, this is supposed to be like the 24-hour news broadcaster.
Dang.
And right now, right, again, this is how you know that it's an Islamic dictatorship. The country is literally in a civil war. Of course, the news channel, instead of broadcasting that, they're instead playing like translated Tucker Carlson interviews. How messed up. I was not expecting that. I
actually couldn't believe it at first. I had to go double check. So this is channel 6. In Iran. شبکه خبر.
I want to video this.
Did you hear they translate? They're translating him, but then they make it like he's laughing. He's like, so that's funny.
I want to video this.
That's not how he laughs. This is how he laughs.
Yeah, get it right. It's supposed to be.
I need to like film this because like no one's gonna believe me.
اونا یه شهرت واقعی دارن.
Goldie, you're
Dude,
literally
hey,
filming it
yeah.
here on this live stream.
Yeah, Goldie. that's funny. I need to film this this live stream, which is on YouTube. I need to film it so that there's a record of us doing this. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, but you know, if I do something live, it's very unlikely that I'll actually go back to capture it again. So I guess
Keep
I
in
get the
mind,
point.
this
Plus,
from
she
a while
does
back. This
live streams
was
are like 7 hours long. So
this broadcast was on Elvis's birthday, so that's a while back. And then the Tucker stream was, I think, from 5 months ago.
nice.
که باید ازش محافظت.
Shout out to Goldie Amari and Armin Navabi. They have been doing live streams together for a long time now, and Goldie is fantastic. I guess Armin is okay too. No, both Armin and Goldie are fantastic people. Love these guys. I was actually live on their channel just a week ago or so. I don't know. I don't remember. And they also invited you on, David, to join sometime. We should probably go together and join for.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Oh, and guys, yeah, if you want, now they've been doing some seriously long live streams, but if you're watching AP here, you probably are okay with the long live streams. But yeah, if you want accurate information about stuff that's going on in Iran, check with them.
Indeed.
بذات کنن. اگه مطلب خلاف واقع بنویسن اخراج میشن یا آبروشون.
And Goldie's story, and especially recent events in her political career, are also of great interest of people who do to people who do what we do. Namely, she was a politician in Canada in the conservative something, and she was kicked out for being Islamophobic and for meeting with Tommy Robinson, for appearing in public with Tommy Robinson, upon which the Muslim something Muslim Association of Canada complained to her party or caucus, which then complied with the Muslims because they are good dhimmis and kicked her out for being Islamophobic. So she's actually of great importance. And she still continues being Islamophobic.
Wasn't Armin going to speak at some school up there at some point, and they stopped him?
That's true. Hang on for a second. All right. Gotta unplug something. Okay. Guess who's back? Is this it?
You're
talking
in
Then what is it? Like it's like anti-Semitic.
Yeah. These are completely in line with the Islamic Republic.
Well, of course.
So yeah, they covered that. Islamic regime in Iran and lovingly promotes Tucker for good reasons. Bad reasons, good reasons for the Islamic regime. Abu Bakr al-Pafdari echoing, hi, there's kudos for Baphomet video. Good AP. Thank you. Appreciate that. I wanted to make that video ages ago. David might still remember that I told him.
I still remember.
When I wanted to make that video, and I didn't do it until now. I feel very motivated to restart and do videos again. So
yeah, AP was always like, oh, I've always had this statue of Baphomet that I love. It's my favorite statue. I love Baphomet. But then I found out he's connected to Muhammad, and I'm like, oh, what do I do? I should make a video about this. And I was like, okay, yeah, do that.
It was actually the other way around. I found out about how Baphomet is actually connected to Muhammad, and then I got the Baphomet statue. This was when I was an atheist, just to use it as to demonstrate. Not sure why I'd have to have it physically with me, and to make a video about it. And then the statue broke, and then I got a replacement, and that broke too, which was very interesting. So Momo's Baphomet and his mom's a harlot. Just wow. Arctic Based was in the middle of a Mike Winger video. Then I get interrupted by this fake clickbait live stream. Rude. Oh, hi, Dr. Wood. This is not clickbait. And I apologize for taking off of Mike Winger's live stream because we all love Mike Winger. Allah shiny shin, please laugh like Tucker Carlson. I can't laugh like Tucker Carlson. Said no, I couldn't do it. Jack Ray gifted 20 memberships. Boost.
It is totally based.
Libel says, AP, be Christian without ground, Jew, church, I am. I can't. I can't be Christian without ground, crew, church. I must be Christian with ground, crew, church. I have to. Early happy St. Patrick's Day, AP and David Wood, Erin Gobra. So, slightly off topic, since I talked about the whole church thing a while ago, I know there are always some people, a minority, who say stuff like, you don't need a church, you don't need this, you don't need that, just be Christian and all that. You'll be fine. The thing is, my early ventures into Christianity started with reading the earliest Christians and the earliest church fathers. And one of the most striking ones were actually Ignatius of Antioch. So you see how the Apostle Paul describes Christianity, and you see how the earliest Christians, the earliest followers, describe Christianity and how they establish the very same hierarchy, the very same authority and church environment and system that Paul and the apostles established. You can see with Ignatius, for example, in his letters, which you can find in the Apostolic Fathers compilations, you can see how he describes church setting and leadership and all that. And given all that, I would find it extremely difficult to be comfortable with I'll just be Christian and, not go anywhere and just do it by myself and all that. I also think that even if I did believe that I don't need to go to a certain church or something like that, I would feel that I would feel the need to do it because that keeps me on the path. That keeps me firm in faith and all that. I can't trust myself. I trusted myself for 10 years. I'm not going to do it again. Apple Baker Alpov Daddy. Sadly, Ireland not immune from migrant crisis. Ireland is the worst. AP, your analysis of SNL's Tucker impression is 100% correct. I want to say, hey, SNL 2022 called. They want their Tucker Carlson impression back. That's exactly what I was thinking. Anyway, enough with all these super chats. Stop sending super chats. We have a topic to discuss. Tucker Carlson is a foreign agent. And Tucker Carlson also announces that that the government is about to prosecute him, that he might get in big trouble. But what he is doing is he is preemptively framing a narrative that is very different from what he actually did. That's what it looks like, in order to win the public over before the government actually comes after him for the very wrong things that he probably actually did.
Well, you don't know what you're talking about, AP. I was at the bingo parlor at the YMCA to help out some old folks, and one of them was Iranian, and now the government says they're going to arrest me for this.
Beast. Blue says St. Patrick was a leprechaun. This is actually not confirmed. So, just so you know. Yeah, all right, let's see. So Tucker Carlson published this, which is how everybody became aware of what Tucker Carlson is actually doing right now and undergoing.
Hey. You know what would be a cool video?
What?
Just like compile 2 minutes of Andrew Tate. The Matrix is about to attack me because of my empowering message to young men. And then combine that with Muhammad Hijab. Yes, and I found out Elon Musk is going to frame me. And then, of course, the scandal that pops out later. And then Tucker. And then what's next? The same tactic.
Now I'm getting distracted with this question, but I like the question. What are your thoughts on Catholic claims that they were really helping Jews during the Holocaust? It's actually not really. It's not a false claim. It's actually
some were.
There is
some definitely were. Yeah, you go to the Holocaust Museum, and they have pictures of Christians of various kinds who helped save Jews.
And the thing is also that the Vatican itself was actually trying to help Jews, but the thing is, the situation was very, very difficult. One criticism that you can offer the Vatican is that they did not while the Nazi regime was around. They did not officially and publicly condemn and say anything about the Nazi government, about Hitler. They kind of waited until Hitler was dead, until they said something. That's where you can criticize them. But you can also possibly understand why that is. Hitler himself hated the Catholic Church. He publicly identified with it, and also specifically tasked Goebbels to identify with the Catholic Church and to publicly act as a Catholic. But he himself despised the Catholic Church brutally. He hated the Catholic Church because he saw it as everything, as a sign of everything that is wrong with Europe. He saw it basically as a branch and an arm of the Jews who messed up Europe and brought it away from the beautiful, degenerate, pagan Roman glory and all that. So he publicly sided, or he publicly spoke in favor of the Catholic Church, but privately absolutely hated the Catholic Church and wanted to reduce or eliminate any kind of influence that the Catholic Church had in Nazi-controlled territories. He did crack down very, very much on any Catholics who disagreed or tried to do non-compliance with the Nazi regime. Lots of Catholic priests and monks and others were arrested, sent to concentration camps, tortured, blackmailed, and so on. And had the Vatican openly taken a hostile stance toward the Nazi regime, all the Catholics in Germany and in all the territories controlled by Hitler, including in Poland, which he fully and brutally occupied, would have been in severe danger. And the Catholic Church didn't want to risk people's lives.
Hold up, AP. Come on, I got to call bull on this. If you're sitting there saying that, Hitler and Goebbels, they despise the Catholic Church, but, publicly they're acting like they get along with it in order to help them because they don't want interference while they're wiping out Jews. If that were actually a tactic, then we would have people today trying to dupe Christians into helping them wipe out Jews. You know what I mean? We'd have people saying, hey, I'm just a Christian. I'm a Christian, but I'm really concerned. We've got to stop these Jews. We'd see that today, and we just don't. So what's going on with Tucker here?
Exactly. Exactly. So anyway, the Catholic Church very, very much offered escape routes for Jews, and also privately and under the veil instructed, or under the table instructed Catholic Church branches and priests and all that anywhere to help Jews as much as they can. However, there is a fact, which is that certain people inside the Catholic Church also helped the Nazis and even provided escape routes for high-ranking Nazi officials when Hitler fell, when Hitler died, and when the Nazi regime fell. So people inside the Catholic Church, inside the Vatican, actually helped a lot of the high-ranking Nazis escape and all that. So it is a mixed bag. It is very nuanced, but you could say that while the Catholic Church or the Vatican itself did not openly or outright take a position, they did more to help Jews than to harm Jews or to help Nazis. This is only a tiny part of it. Hitler didn't just hate the Catholic Church, he also hated Christianity. He just hated the Catholic Church more than he hated other people that he could win over and use for himself and all that. And stuff. Anyway, now let's get back to topic.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of...
the CIA is coming after me.
criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power.
He doesn't know what the Foreign Agent Act is. He doesn't know what FARA is. He doesn't know these things. What kind of a journal? He obviously knows what it is. He's just...
something People are, there's some word, they're calling it treason, treason. I don't even know what these words mean.
Like
what do these things mean? What are these
Something
words?
It's so funny how he's acting, how he's obviously guilty. The funny thing is also, when you discover the CIA has been reading your text in order to frame you for a crime. Seriously, man, this guy has been going around forever talking about how the government is after you and the CIA does this and this and that, and he wasn't aware that the CIA or intelligence agencies might read your texts.
Well, Andrew Tate didn't realize that trafficking is illegal. So I mean, some people don't know everything, man.
So his framing is very, very funny. This is a very, very clear instance of lying by omission and making himself look completely innocent. He says that they're coming after him apparently because he was talking to some people in Iran before the war. Nobody gets in trouble for talking to people in Iran before the war. No single person has ever gotten in trouble for that. Nobody gets in trouble for that. In fact, you could even, as a journalist, talk to the Iranian Islamic regime government, and you wouldn't get in trouble. You wouldn't get in trouble for that. You could literally sit down with representatives and officials of the Islamic regime itself, and you wouldn't be in trouble for that. He's obviously not telling us the whole story.
Against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war.
What kind of people? And what exactly were you talking about? I would be very curious to see what you were talking about, to see those texts.
They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power.
It's the Foreign Agent Registration Act. You can't talk to people as an American now. Trump is a dictator. Yeah, so the Foreign Agent Registration Act is an act under which was like enacted ages ago, 100 years ago or something, under which anyone who acts on behalf of a foreign government and basically does their bidding or gets instructions from a foreign government, and then relays those things or abides by them, has to notify the United States of America that is the case. And if they do not do that, they will be in big legal trouble because it goes into kind of being an agent, and doing things covertly, secretly. Let's see. What is FARA? The Foreign Agents Registration Act is a 1938 U.S. law requiring individuals doing political lobbying or public relations work for foreign governments, parties, or entities to register with the Department of Justice. It ensures transparency by forcing disclosure of relationships, activities, and finances related to foreign influence in the United States. To inform the American public and officials about the identity of foreign agents and their activities. Registration is required if a person acts as a public relations counsel, publicity agent, information service employee, political consultant, or fundraiser for a foreign principal. It covers lobbying, media campaigns, and influencing U.S. policy. Registrants must disclose their relationship with foreign entities, activities, and finances. It was designed to combat foreign propaganda and hidden influence in U.S. politics. FARA is a disclosure law, not a prohibition law. It does not ban foreign lobbying, but rather mandates transparency regarding it. Failure to comply can result in fines and imprisonment, according to FARA U.S. So it may very well be that Tucker Carlson was receiving instructions or being repeatedly told by the Islamic regime government officials, do this and do this. Tell the Americans to do this for us. Do this on our behalf. Tell Donald Trump this, but don't tell him that we are the ones saying it.
Don't say the Ayatollah said it.
And such. And he actually affirms it. This is especially damning if there's actual text of him affirming that, saying, okay, we'll do soon. something like that. And he does not disclose this to the government. This means he was basically acting as a foreign agent secretly.
Hey, look,
What?
as if he couldn't make it any more obvious. He literally has a sign of Muhammad's daughter, Fatima. Beloved of Shias everywhere, especially the 12er Shias. And look, he's just proclaiming it. Huh.
I think I looked up what that was at some point, and I think it's actually unrelated to. I think it's like a cigar thing or something like that. I don't remember. I know you're joking, but I was thinking it's related to the Fatima thing in Portugal, whatever. Let's continue.
And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States. And
look at that. Immediately, he's 40 seconds into announcing that he's apparently in trouble for working on behalf of the Islamic regime of Iran. And he immediately deflects by saying, well, and unlike those loyal to Israel, that's what he's saying here. I'm only loyal to the United States of America.
I'm only loyal to the United States of America. And I just understand that for the good of our country, we have to become an Islamic republic and destroy Israel. It's just, that's it.
He's obsessed with Israel, man. Obsessed with Israel.
For reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on.
Oh, well, that closes the case. He's not an agent of a foreign power. So
yeah, I just love the United States. That's why I go to Russia and I talk about how great it is in Russia and how much better Russia is and how great grocery stores are in Russia and how great Putin is. And, you know, that's why I keep talking about how great the Middle East is. And I make fun of anyone who opposes Sharia. And Sharia, I keep telling people how great Sharia is.
And what has
because I love
Carlson
America.
What has he been doing since he left Fox News? He has become a mouthpiece for anything that is against America. No matter what America does, right? No matter what the United States of America does, anything there is, Tucker Carlson immediately comes out against it and against the United States of America and in favor of the opponents of the United States of America. That's all he does. I don't care if he is actually loyal to America. I don't care if he actually does love America. I don't care about any of this, right? His work for years now consists of simply bashing America, no matter what America does. Bashing America and always praising the most disgusting, the most reprehensible governments out there against America. America has a problem with the Houthis in Yemen, literal Islamist terrorists. He goes to their defense to defend the Islamic terrorists who rape goats and do drugs all day long. America has a problem with the Islamic regime, which executes mass murders, people for protesting, turns off their internet, abducts them, rapes them, beats women. He comes to their defense. He comes to the defense of any opponent of America. That is what he is. This guy is an enemy of the United States of America. What is this? What?
Yeah, I was just looking up the whole Fatima thing, and then someone posted, Goldie said this Fatima thing is a symbol of the Turks and Germans' cooperation in World War I. It's totally a neo-Nazi Islamic dog whistle. I just looked up what the sign is. They said it's a sign for Fatima Turkish cigarettes.
Oh yeah, cigarettes, not cigars. That makes sense.
Turkish cigarettes, man, dude. Those were the cigarettes you smoked in Turkey, dude. You're acting like you don't know.
Huh? What the heck is this? Fatima Turkish. Here, I've just found it. Turkish cigarettes. That looks very un-Turkish.
Yeah, look at those symbols there, man.
I know. That looks extremely un-Turkish and un-Islamic. So. Fatima Turkish cigarettes, tobacco advertising. What is this? I kind of want to find out more about this. Just out of curiosity, not because I'm digging into anything bad here. Actually, Fatima Cigarettes was an American brand of cigarettes manufactured by the Legetz-Meyer Tobacco Company that is an exotic blend of Turkish tobaccos. The name Fatima, a common Turkish or Arab woman's name, helped bolster the Turkish image. The pack art featured a veiled woman, the Turkish crescent moon with stars and the Iron Cross, the symbol of the Ottoman Empire. It was the best-selling cigarette brand in the United States from 1910 to 1920.
What the heck, man? How do I get a pack of those?
Did you know that?
No, I never heard of it.
Two developments pushed Fatima to the sidelines toward the end of the 1920s. First, the Turkish fad fell victim to politics as the alliances of World War I made the East seem less mysterious than treacherous to Americans. Second, Camel cigarettes came to the market, and so on. This is an interesting read. I'm kind of curious now.
Yeah, I'm looking for where I can get a vintage pack.
Interesting.
Vintage pack. I'm on eBay. You can get signs and stuff. That's not too difficult. Hey, they used to put the baseball cards in there, man. Those are old school.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, I found one of those. It was in a schools where some of the schools up in West Virginia were crap schools that have been around there for like a century, and the building's all old and stuff, and they have old books. You got to use these old books and stuff. Anyway, I forgot my English book, which was like 100 years old and stuff like that. And so my teacher told me to grab one off the shelf, and I grabbed one, and there was a 1913 Cracker Jack card in there. Someone had used as a bookmark, man. It was a 1913 Cracker Jack baseball card.
Damn.
And anyway, I traded that for a bunch of other baseball cards to someone who really wanted a super old one.
It's not as cool as Pokemon cards, but still interesting. Yeah, Camel is the one that is now Turkish tobacco blend. I actually used to smoke Camel when I was a smoker. So funny.
U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have...
Right.
Hey, I'm thinking about this, man. This whole Fatima thing, this whole Fatima cigarette thing, man. It's meant to improve people's perception of Turkey. And then Tucker gets that as his sign. And what does he do on his show? Try to improve people's view of Islam all day, every day. Coincidence? Come on.
Interesting. Interesting.
A lot of kids. So that's not a concern. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interest.
Never acted against. When was the last time Tucker actually said something nice about American politics, man? About the American government, about the American nation?
First, I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from
I also have kids, therefore I never did something bad.
Anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable.
So here he's bringing up money.
From anybody. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money.
Now, I don't know if he has taken money or not from foreign governments or foreign agents or anything like that. The funny thing about this is that he doesn't have to take money. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to take money in order to be found guilty of being a foreign agent or of treason or anything like that. You can do it all without taking any money. You can do it for favors. You can do it just because you like to do it, no matter what it is. Money is not a factor here. Of course, if you did take money, that would be taken into consideration and would also have different consequences. However, money is not a factor or a requirement. It doesn't matter. I'm not sure if Tucker Carlson is actually as bad of a researcher and journalist as he often pretends to be, but maybe he actually doesn't know this. And maybe he just did a lot of stuff for foreign governments without publicly or openly taking money, and thought he would get away with it because he didn't do it for money. But money is not a deciding factor here. You could literally take $0 and do the bidding of the Islamic regime, and you would be just as guilty. Money matters zero here.
From anybody. Don't need it, don't want it. And that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's literally what I do for a living. And I'm not going to stop doing that. Nor should I don't think. I'm also an American. I can talk to anybody. I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it will even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely
there's less of it. America did nothing. Nothing was done to curb people's freedoms. It's always the same propaganda, man. Always the same propaganda. The Trump government did nothing to curb people's freedoms. You still have the very same rights to free speech. You know what you don't have a right to since, as we just read it, 1938, to secretly act as a foreign agent. This is not a new development. It's been here since long before Tucker Carlson himself was born. Of course, he wants to deflect from this and be like, "Oh, see, they're monitoring us. They're monitoring us." I guess he could make this about one thing, which is that intelligence agencies have been tracking his communications and reading his messages, following his conversations and his phone calls. And that is bad, because that means they're interfering with your freedoms. Well, I'm sorry. I'm actually very, very much of the opinion that the United States of America should do plenty of that, especially to certain people who are suspected of doing certain things that harm all of us. It's better safe than sorry, right? And it's not an authoritarian position to advocate for national security. It's actually a very, very conservative position to advocate for national security. And part of national security in the day and age of today is that a country as powerful and important as the United States of America has a proper intelligence network and proper intelligence agencies that actually look into and properly investigate people who seemingly act on behalf of terrorists or foreign governments. And in that case, in Tucker's case, if he does indeed act on behalf of foreign governments, which seemingly he does, then yes, the United States absolutely should, or United States intelligence agencies absolutely should look into that, absolutely should investigate, and absolutely should do something if they find that he's actually doing that. I mean, we see the same thing about, I say all the time that governments in the West should crack down on Islamic organizations and institutes, on mosques, on things that Islamist preachers say and all that. All of this is exactly part of that. National security. Investigate threats. Do not tolerate. I am all for that. And that is, and that's actually something we need to do in order to preserve our freedoms.
Oh, every example of getting an unopened vintage 1940s or earlier pack of Fatima cigarettes has turned out to be sold already. I found multiple auctions and stuff, but it's like 2018 and 2021 and stuff, man. Anyway, we all got to keep our eyes out.
That's what you're doing with your time while we're doing a professional live stream here.
I'm just saying. Every time we're talking about Tucker, I want to be smoking one of these from now on.
Nice.
It happened now too. Another point to make that is worth knowing is that the USIC, the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by...
Good. As they should. Why else would they exist? People have this interesting thing of, no, the government should be staying out of everything. Look, I value my privacy a lot. I value my private life and my privacy and everything a lot. But I'm completely fine with the government having proper access to my communications, especially if I'm in a position where I communicate frequently with foreign governments. They better do that. In America, it's kind of, in my opinion, less serious than in many European countries. Like the UK should be doing much more of that kind of stuff. They should be spying, of course, not the current government. The current government is basically a treacherous anti-British government that should be torn down by proper people in a good and legal way and democratic way. But if a proper government was established to get rid of all the cancer that has been building up in the UK, for example, they should be doing that kind of stuff. Should be tracking down and getting rid of all those who want to destroy the country. America should do that too, to an extent, especially with people like this.
Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom are threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom are threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand. And it's outrageous. There's no justification for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people...
This is very funny. He can't stop praising the Islamic regime. How does the Islamic regime treat privacy? I'm really curious about that. These are apparently things that he's outraged about.
Within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel, and they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel, and they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they...
David, does he strike you as nervous? Look at his fingers, man.
They pass on criminal complaints, in effect.
Six fingers.
To law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. But the main reason they do it is to leak the existence of the investigation, such as it is, to the media, and then humiliate and terrify the subjects of this op. And that's, of course, happened to me repeatedly, many times, including in famously 2021, when I was still at Fox News and trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. And the NSA, I heard from someone there, had grabbed my text messages with an American citizen and had leaked them to news outlets. Those texts were basically my attempts to set up an interview with the foreign head of state, and they leaked them to the New York Times in order to stop the interview, which they successfully did, by the way. And they admitted that they were spying on me. This is not a fantasy. It actually happened. They did it again.
Wait, so they admitted that they were spying on you, and after that you continued communicating directly and doing the foreign bidding of hostile foreign governments and doing all that through texts. You absolute imbecile.
Hey, first of all,
what?
Reading his text, man. Reading his text. How do you think they're doing that?
I don't know. I mean, how are they doing that?
Here's what I think. I don't think they're like monitoring his texts. I think they've discovered people on the receiving and sending end of these texts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they're like, in other words, there's a war on over there, and you got some people who are switching sides and stuff like that. And it seems like someone's like, hey, well, want to see his messages from Tucker? And they're like, oh, that's a lot of messages from Tucker there. Bet you that's what it is.
That's also that's a theory that people made, and that seems actually very plausible. The United States did probably, or U.S. intelligence agencies did probably surveil and try to intercept, and did get a lot of communications that Islamic regime government officials received, and among them they may have found communications from Tucker Carlson himself, and that he probably made through different channels, and they verified that it's actually from him, such as the Islamic regime government officials asking him to say certain things to the public or to the US government, and him then affirming that he will do so, or to give them information from the US government, and him then, it doesn't even matter if he actually gives it. What matters is that he actually textually, or that he actually directly affirms that he's going to do that. So they might have come to that conclusion or to that find while looking into what Iranians or what the Islamic regime is doing. That's a very, very good point. For the first time you said something good, David. Thank you.
Again, 2 years later, my second attempt to get a Putin interview, I managed to get it anyway, and they've done it since. And so when you get a call from a reporter who knows the contents of your texts, it's pretty clear something's going on. None of this, in my judgment, as of right now, is a huge threat to me. So I'm not making this video to complain about it or whine or ask you to send me money because I'm under attack. I'm saying it because it's true, and you should know what your own government is doing, and you should know what the stakes are, and you should know that.
Thank you for telling me. I am not concerned at all. I am not in any way worried. Dear US government, dear intelligence agencies, you can read everything you want.
Don't do that.
I'm happy.
Don't do that. Don't trust them.
I'm happy. I trust him completely and fully.
A lot of what happens
and
in this country that affects outcomes happens behind the scenes. Some of it is legal, some of it is not, including what I'm describing now. But it has an effect. And the intel agencies, again, not everyone in the intel agencies, because there are decent, hardworking Americans who work in the intel agencies are Americans, just like there are decent, hardworking Americans who work at the DMV. But there are also people with agendas and grudges and no sense of restraint who are happy to misuse the power they have granted them by our elaborate secrecy laws to hurt fellow Americans for ideological reasons. That is entirely real. That's the story of Russiagate. And it's likely that things like that will begin to happen at greater scale now. So you should just know that going forward. Thanks.
Those are many, many words, Tucker, just to tell us that you are scared because you are in deep trouble. Who in Iran were you texting? This is absolute madness, says Yosef Haddad. There is a huge possibility that Carlson was used by the White House as a tool for deception against the Iranian regime, yet he didn't even realize he was being played. This means the White House suspected he would pass information to the enemies of the United States, which, if true, constitutes pure treason and completely undermines his bogus America First narrative. This is also a theory that people have meanwhile established. And there are actually some people close with the U.S. government that have kind of confirmed that they talked to the U.S. To the White House before about Tucker Carlson, and that what they received as response from the White House when they asked the government to distance themselves from Tucker Carlson, or when they were asked to keep Tucker Carlson away from the government, the response they received was, "Trust the plan," or something like that. Which, if true, hints at the fact that Tucker Carlson was actually set up, because the government was aware that he's actually helping and doing things on behalf of the Islamic regime in Iran. So the US government then used that to manipulate the other side through him and his stupidity to then eventually crack down on him and all that. So that is entirely a possibility. Entirely a possibility. This is very funny. Bree, from who contributes to the Daily Wire, she quotes Alexander Dugin. And if you don't know who this is, man, you're in for a ride. But he's a very, very hostile asset of the Russian government, of Putin's government and ideologies, who is very blatant and very clear, very explicit on the fact that he's happy to use any dirty means necessary to destroy and take down the Western culture in the United States of America. He even wrote a book in which he explicitly lays out how things that we should be doing as Russians or as Russia, the things that he lays out. In fact, let me find the quote. It would be much better if I just found the quote. He lays out that part of what Russia must be doing right now is to amplify different hostile political parties inside the West in order to weaken the West from the inside to make it collapse. Let's find David. Say something before I talk, while I look it up.
No one cares about this quote from this dude, man. Unless he's smoking a Fatima cigarette, I don't care either. You're pretty up on all this Russian stuff, man.
That's because I'm very Russophobic. No,
Yeah, I don't like those dudes either, man.
Yeah. The book is called Foundations of Geopolitics. It's a 1997 book in which he talks about dismantling Western influence. I'm trying to get the
smart.
I wanted to get the quote. I actually had it recently shared by somebody. But anyway, that's it. If I find the quote later, or if somebody can send me the quote with the source, I should have it written down somewhere, but I should probably collect those notes better. It is in his book called Foundations of Geopolitics. That's where he advocates for Russia to become the big guy in the world and to destroy Western culture from its bottom, from its foundations. And he advocates for
the Zoot strategy.
He advocates for amplifying any kind of degenerate, destructive ideology covertly in the West in order to destroy the West. This is not secret. He clearly lays it out. And this is Putin's ideology that Putin follows. This guy's like Putin's ideological guy, That's what he is. So some people who are kind of who don't understand the whole hostility or the cautions, the precautions, this cautionary attitude toward Russia, don't fully understand what the Russian government, what Putin's Russian government and Putin's Russian ideology actually is all about. It's very, very freaking sinister. Very sinister. But yeah, somebody please send me the code so I can find it. But Dugin names the influences he makes clear are useful to the Russian influence ops he's running. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, Jackson Hinkle, Kim.com, and some other people. That's very, very funny. Number one is Tucker Carlson.
The United States is on the edge of the radical collapse. So that is superpower, hyperpower, that is collapsing. That is agony of it. And we need to understand that well. We should not be hypnotized by the real situation in the United States. They are in very, very bad situation. And hence, they radical and extremist actions. So they have the problem with Epstein elite. They have the problem with economy. They have the great problem with the state of the moral United States. This is decaying society in the last stage of decay. So we need to follow that. We need to understand.
Gloria Dear Short says Putin is kind of right about some things in the West. Well, think about the most evil person you can think of, and that person is probably also quite right about some things in the West.
Mm-hmm. And they will accurately diagnose problems because they want to exploit them for their agendas.
Yeah.
That we need to study it. We need to have the correct, realistic understanding of what is going on in the United States of America outside of their propaganda, and maybe outside of our own propaganda. So we have to have a very correct, realistic understanding of American society, because from that depends almost everything in the world. So we need to try to reach the people of real MAGA, or the core MAGA, who share with us our general ideological, geopolitical, metaphysical vision of multipolarity, because the MAGA accepted multipolarity. Trump has betrayed MAGA and has thrown away multipolarity, has declared the war to multipolarity. So, but not MAGA. So we need to follow people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, Andrew Neapolitano, Larry Johnson, Jackson Hinkle, and great, absolutely great, Kim.com, that we should invite next time for our conference. He is very great. So we need to reach to these non-conformist MAGA people in the United States who have a very similar vision of what are the real priority to save America, to save the world, to save the West.
If you are praised and promoted by this guy as somebody to follow and as an ideological ally, then you are probably either a traitor or on the verge of treason to anything that makes America great or Western society great.
No, seriously, think about this too, right? And what we need some American influencers to come to Mother Russia and go to our grocery store. Start telling everyone, wow, grocery store here in Mother Russia, so much better than supermarket in United States, demon place, decaying country. And what we need is someone come and say, wow, I put quarter, it gives me shopping cart. And then I return shopping cart and it gives me quarter back. Not like in NFL football, but you know what I'm saying. We need the big American influencer come smell our bread in supermarket and say, wow, bread smell good in Mother Russia. This what we need. If we do this, If we do this, then we get multipolarity like we want. The MAGA leader, Donald Trump, he has rejected the multipolarity. But with Tucker and Candace Owens on our side, we will get the multipolarity.
Man. The funny thing is, I mean, if you research further about who Alexander Dugin is and the kind of stuff that he advocates for, he started his own party, which was neo-Bolshevism or national Bolshevism, which is an ideology that he still has. He was at first an anti-communist, but then he subscribed to the Bolshevik ideas, and to this day promotes kind of like a united system of fascism, neo-Bolshevism or neo-communism, and a religious government, all led by what he calls the Holy Empire of Russia. He also believes in aggressively taking back all of the lands that once were controlled at some point by Russia, aggressively declaring wars and taking them back. And he thinks that the greatest enemy as an obstacle in front of this is of course the United States of America and the West, which is why the United States of America and the West and Western Christianity have to be completely destroyed. This is his ideology basically. And with this pursuit, he subscribed to some really, really messed up political and also religious ideas. This guy is pure evil. I don't know. So sorry, what was it? What were you putting up?
What?
What were you putting up? I just clicked it away.
Oh, just multipolar. We need multipolar shopping carts for the bread and the vodka.
Anyway, Idor Gordon says, "Epi, funny story. Me telling David on his stream that I trying to watch through the alerts and the missiles incoming. David replies that he wants to make a video about BB or something." What's wrong with you? Well, gotta love David and his personality. My fault, though.
What? I do want to make a video about that. What?
Cold.
It's the truth.
Safe, yeah.
Well, I'm supposed to lie? Okay, well, I don't want to make a video.
Stay safe. Stay safe. Ash says, "Спасибо, товарищи." Something like that. Whatever that means. Isaac, so if Momo is Baphomet, Zut be upon him, is Baphomet, and his mother was a sex worker, would that mean that he's literally the opposite of Jesus, an antichrist? Yes. No Cal Global, Jew from the Hood Food album out now on all platforms. North Highlands Infidel full album, Sacramento Cali, a Lut anthem included.
What?
Nice.
Sound like a banger in the Zut sense.
You know what's funny?
What?
So I was hanging out with Jorge, and he was telling me about this. He was telling me about this platform that where you can go on and create your own crypto coins, your own crypto tokens, and put them on the market.
Oh, we can finally do Zutcoin.
And people can come up with anything and promote it. And what they do, and what you do is you go live, you do live streams, and through your content and live streams, you promote the value of those tokens and can put them on the market and all that. So I thought, wait, anything? You can just do it. You don't need to do all the technical crypto stuff. And it's like, yeah, you just go on the platform and do it. So I'm like, huh. So I go on the website, and my first thought is, I wonder if somebody did a Zut coin. So I search for Zut, and I do find somebody did create Zut coin with an image of Muhammad surrounded by these bunch of naked guys. And it actually had some serious market capital or something.
Well, so someone already sent me the Zut coin. Let's see. Hold up. Oh no, this doesn't have anybody around him. It has hang on. I'll send it to you, man.
But somebody actually put it on the market, you know.
I'm just saying, if someone preempted our idea. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. It would be fun to do something like that and to have like a Zut coin and stuff like that. But you don't want to actually You don't want to actually like rip people off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like, because that's what these dudes like Tate do. They'll pump some coin, make a fortune, and then like sell all their stuff, and then everyone gets out. It would have to like go to charity or something, or you'd like tell people, yeah, just spend a couple cents on this. Do not put any actual real money into this. Just put a few cents into this.
Yeah, that's what that one woman did who became famous for saying a short phrase about performative acts. She scammed a lot of people through crypto and then disappeared. I said it in the most cryptic way possible. It's kind of funny. So, Eyal Yacobi posted this one here. This is also a talking point that Tucker Carlson has been putting out forever, that Iran isn't trying to build the nuclear weapons, and that Netanyahu is warmongering, and that there's actually no evidence, and that they're actually trying to build a nuclear weapon. And he's an official of the, he is speaker of the Iranian parliament.
اول که وارد این فعالیت هسته‌ای شدیم واقعا هدفمون ساخت بمب بود دیگه. ما تعارف که نداریم.
یعنی شما میگید هدف ساخت بمب بوده
واقعا 100%.
هدف کی این بوده؟ یعنی
کل نظام یا همه اونایی که این فعالیت رو شروع کردن واقعا هدف ساخت بمب بود. حالا که شروع کرده بودیم و دیگه می‌خواستیم این کارو خب اینو شما اگه میتونستیم اینو حفظش کنیم و بمب آزمایش می‌کردیم.
Hey, oops, sorry. I didn't know I was going to get rid of that. I was just seeing what happened if I click on it. Wait, did that get rid of your video?
Yes.
Wait, I have the power to cancel one of your things? That's funny.
Yes.
So anyway, that was one. That's one Zut coin, and it's 30. It's 31 cents. And then there's one that looks more like a coin. Hang on. And then the other one, hang on. And then the other one is this. Zut coin. That looks like an actual coin. Anyway, we have actual multiple mock-ups for the Zut coin. The Zut coin.
But not as good as the actual Zut coin. So you can't do it better than them. Atheo Chica, hi Peter. What's up, Atheo Chica? It's good to see you here. It's good to see you back. Or good to see you see me.
Yes, who's back?
Something like that. All right, now I have to remove these things from the. Okay, I don't have to.
شروع کردیم بعد تا آخرش.
حالا اینه که شما میگید میگم چون ما تا حالا رسمی خیلی نشدیم کسی این صحبت‌ها رو کنه. اینا که شما میگید تبعاتی نداره مثلا مذاکرات و اینها به عنوان بالاخره کسی که
حرف ما توجه نداره.
با خارجی بالاخره پیدا میکنن.
He says nobody pays attention to what I say anyway, so I can say it.
Good point.
Adrian Fishberger says, here's what appears to be happening. Tucker Carlson has allegedly been conducting his own foreign policy with Iran on behalf of the United States.
Smart.
At some point, the CIA got wind of this and informed President Trump, who may then have used Tucker as an unwitting counterintelligence asset to feed faulty information to Iran. Based.
Yeah, guess what? Hey, Tucker, I can tell you this because we're friends. We're friends. Some say we're the best of friends, and everyone who knows me says I'm their best friend. But yeah, we're not going to bomb them. We're not going to do anything. So, this Ayatollah, he could just go hang out in his office. Nothing's going to happen to him. We're not planning anything. Yeah, just so you know.
And then he says it to them, and the next day, while the supreme leader thinks he's safe because of Tucker Carlson's solid intel, he gets bombed to death.
Inshallah, I will never be bombed because I have my mole, not Muhammad's mole, but my mole, Tucker Carlson.
I have my little birds, my big bird. Tucker
He is
Carlson.
big star on Iranian TV. We put him on Channel 4.
At some point, yeah, David doesn't sound like Trump, but he gets the cadence and volume fluctuations spot on. This is pretty disrespectful.
Some would say it's extremely disrespectful and that Ash Mays, if that's your name, you should be bombed. Bombed? Will we bomb him? Yes, but just listen to Tucker. Go ahead, listen to Tucker.
Following the launch of Epic Fury, Tucker's traitorous behavior may have finally caught up with him, as the Department of Justice reportedly prepares a criminal complaint against him based on CIA intelligence. Bonus round.
I would use the word treacherous or treasonous.
Yes, not traitorous.
Yeah, it sounds
An
weird.
example of Tucker likely parroting Iranian regime propaganda. After the operation began, Iran sent IRGC agents to carry out attacks in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, but those plots were foiled. Iran then told Tucker these were actually Mossad plots, a claim he pushed online and that spread like wildfire. Saudi and Qatar had to publicly deny Tucker's fake news about the Mossad. Oh yeah, did you catch that? It actually happened.
Mm-mm.
Qatar and Saudi Arabia both made public declarations that strictly denied Tucker Carlson's false claims that these were false flags or that this was Israel. So they had these actual government representatives had to come out and tell the world that Tucker is lying about them and just spreading Islamic regime propaganda. Very, very interesting, man. Very, very interesting.
Now, that wasn't a risk from the Israeli standpoint. That was the point. That was the point. They wanted to diminish the Gulf, and in 2 days they have. And I think anyone who likes decency and order and cleanliness is hoping that the Gulf will recover. The Gulf is not a threat to us. We have military bases in these countries. These are some of our closest allies. All of them are closer allies than Israel, by far. They're our friends.
So here's what's happening. He's talking about the attacks that the Islamic regime did against a dozen countries, including almost all of the Arab countries in the Arabian Peninsula. Israel and America, after years of warning Iran, finally do their united strike on Iran, because Iran will not stop with their nuclear pursuit and will also continue paying and employing Islamic terrorists, organizations, and people in the Middle East and around the world, and even puts out direct commands to have Donald Trump assassinated. America and Israel bomb the Islamic regime in Iran. The Islamic regime is decapitated and responds by aggressively firing missiles and drones at neighboring Islamic countries in order to pressure them. They then say that this only happened because of America and Israel. Tucker Carlson comes out and he immediately adopts exactly what the Islamic regime of Iran says, and says that this is only happening because of Israel, that Israel is actually behind this. Israel is actually doing this. He then goes even further and says that Israel might actually have orchestrated these attacks as a false flag, as if they were Iranian attacks. This is how bad he is, and this is how much he is in every single time on the propaganda of hostile foreign governments. And he also makes it look like the little attacks that the Islamic regime of Iran did like huge damage to the Middle East. They didn't. And they did cause some damage, and they did kill some people and cause damage to some facilities, but they did not do huge damage to these countries that were targeted by the Islamic regime of Iran. The one country that has been, or the one government and country that has been hurt the most, by far the most, as a result of this war, is Iran itself. Let's take Zut to the moon.
That is the thing about Zutcoin. We would have the coolest say ever. Zut to the moon.
Zut to the moon.
Let's take Zut to the moon.
But they've been really
Momo's moon.
And in a place like Dubai, which is basically part of a country, it's an emirate within the United Arab Emirates, but it's also a luxury brand, basically. People go to Dubai because it's beautiful and rich and clean, and above all, because it's safe and orderly. It's got the busiest airport in the world. You start seeing video on Instagram of smoke in the Dubai airport, and you're like, I think I'm going to Cabo this year. Oh, sorry, drug cartels. Whatever. Maybe you go to Sedona this year. It really, really hurts these countries, and Israel wanted to hurt these countries. That's the point.
Which he mentions Dubai. Dubai probably hates this guy by now, because they are very much pro-Western and all that, and they probably see him by now as a propagandist or as a foreign agent of their enemies in the Middle East.
Wanted to hurt these.
I have no love for Dubai or the United Arab Emirates, primarily because they're also another Islamic country and an authoritarian government. And if I couldn't even go to the UAE. If I landed in the UAE, I would be potentially arrested and prosecuted for my apostasy and my criticism of Islam. If you want me to say something nice about the UAE, tell them to get rid of their 7th century laws.
Countries wanted to sow chaos and disorder because they are rivals of Israel. So it's probably hasn't been reported, but it's a fact that last night in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, authorities arrested Mossad agents planning on committing bombings in those countries. Now, that's weird.
That never happened. It's a complete lie. This guy is such a liar, man. Pure propaganda. Pure anti-American and anti-Israeli propaganda. Yeah, Goldie was like, bring David up. Let's bring David up. I know she wanted to have you on there as well. And I was like, nah, David is boring, man.
What the heck, man?
I said, I don't want David live here. No, you were having a live stream. You were having some other live stream. You were live on Hatun's channel when I was live over there. So
no, actually, I'd like to go live with them just because they're really good sources of accurate information. So I would actually like to hear from them.
That's good. I will tell Goldie. She'll be very excited about that. So we'll let her know, and then we'll do live.
She did a clip about the Iron Shake.
Or you can just go over there and whatever. Goldie did a clip about the Iron Shake and WWE too. Huh. Svako. AP's Bethman statue got the dragon treatment.
The Dagon treatment.
Dagon treatment, not a dragon
Dragon treatment.
Jens Philip Bowman. Tucker once debated Jesus in the desert. Astra Nightstar. Takia Al-Katalson going to jail. Surely the Jew known as Rabbi Shlomo McTalmudstein is behind this.
Someone stole the name I used. Wait, when did I use that?
I don't know.
Oh, it was it was a recent tweet. I don't remember what I said. They were saying some Muslims did something, and I said, no, we all know it was really Jew. It was really a Jew, Rabbi Shlomo McTalmudstein.
Hey, I just accepted a debate challenge by Candace Owens, and so I'm sure the debate is about to happen. Just wanted to let everybody know. Here's Candace Owens. She said, I welcome that lawsuit, you malignant piece of Everything I've shared about Erica is factual, and I'm not going to let up because you think it's chivalrous to let a woman pathologically lie to the masses with $1 billion budget at hand.
Yeah, Candace is an expert on a woman pathologically lying to the masses. So,
as she reserves every core philosophy that she reverses every core philosophy that Charlie had.
Funny how Candace is the one who's reversed every single, right?
Yeah,
she's made him like super anti-Israel, and he was leaving Protestantism and converting to Catholicism, and yeah.
I mean, it's funny, I didn't know Charlie for long, but I was actually one of the people who, in his last months, whom he talked to about his faith, right, and about denomination and all that. He directly talked to me about the Orthodox Church, for example, and what he said there when he talked to me was like he was very clear that he, for example, he finds the Orthodox faith beautiful, but he emphasized repeatedly, but of course, I'm an evangelical, and this is who I am. But I also love I love this about the Orthodox faith. I love this about the Catholic faith. I love this about this. I love that about that. But he repeatedly emphasized that he's all about that he is an evangelical, and that is his position. There's a clip of him just days before he was murdered, where he says the very same thing. Of course, I'm an evangelical. That's what I am. But he would say these things. It's people like Candace Owens who, after he died, tried to turn him into something that he was not, who completely disrespect him and then lie about him and try to turn him into something else. That's just one example of that, exactly. But so right now she's being threatened with a lawsuit. Nothing officially came from Erica or Turning Point USA. I know for a fact that Turning Point USA is clearly and explicitly trying not to directly engage with her or mention her, and doing things only through official channels at the moment. But I wouldn't be surprised if she would be hit with a massive lawsuit based on everything that she has said so far. She says everything she said about Erica is factual. No, it's not. She said so many lies. I'm not going to let up because you think it's chivalrous to let a woman pathologically lie to the masses with $1 billion budget at hand as she reverses every core philosophy that Charlie had. Charlie loved Erica, man. If you think you're doing something for Charlie, I mean, for a second, sit there and think about what Charlie would say to you if he was here right now with everything that you're doing, like attacking him and his family. And in the spirit of Charlie, I also welcome a public debate with any of you geniuses who think she's a grieving widow, and it's immoral, is sound enough logic to pardon a CEO from all of her responsibilities. These gay emotional arguments don't exactly hold up in the real world. Let me know if you or anyone would like to have that public debate, if you feel up to debunking anything I've actually said. So I accepted her debate challenge. She also says that she will debate this with anyone in the spirit of Charlie. I know for a fact that Charlie would really actually debate with anyone about anything. The thing with Candace is, as many of you know, the thing with Candace is that, oh, well, I blocked her, but she also blocked me. Candace Owens has blocked you. This is the same woman who says she is ready to talk to anyone in the spirit of Charlie Kirk. She blocked me not because I insulted her or anything. She blocked me because I corrected her and pointed out her hypocrisy when she was amplifying Andrew Tate as a good guy. That's it. However, she did say she will debate anybody, and I just accepted her debate challenge. So I'm now waiting for the debate to take place so that we can finally have a public debate, Candace Owens and I, about what a disgusting fraud she is. I'm happy to see that. All those metal bands are actually Muslims. Yes, they are. God willing, he's off to the slammer. Powerful. Why would Tucker buy a house in Qatar? To run. Yes. Aramov, Book of Esther, Amalek, Haman in Persia wanted to destroy the Jews. The story ended as a holiday. Purim. Khamenei, same name. Persia killed on Purim. Stalin was to deport Jews to Siberia but died on Purim. Things happen on Purim. Very, very nice. Chief Zut, Tucker is nuts. Nice to see you, AP. You were missed. Thank you. Thank you, Chief Zut. In Tucker's defense, Russia has great piroshki. I wouldn't know. Tucker, are you okay? We've been trying to reach you about your extended warranty. Hello, Yidi. Anti-Semitism is worse than ever. Social media is a super spreader of this mind virus. As a Jew, I'm afraid of what the future holds. Is there hope? I wouldn't say that there is much to fear. I think much of it is just social media, if you don't count the Muslims. Which is, of course, great news. Ida Rogozin, is this Rasputin? Yes, it is, literally. Isaac, he make big trouble for moose and squirrel. Ida, David, going like that, you're going to have trouble with your son. You're muted.
Do you even know what the moose and squirrel is about, man?
No, I don't know.
What the heck are you laughing at it for?
I don't know, because it's an accent. Because it is an accent, that's why I'm laughing.
It was Rocky and, yes, because before you were born. Rocky and Bullwinkle, man. and their nemesis were Boris and Natasha.
Ah, I see.
You're sitting here laughing at a joke you don't even understand because you're Turkish.
Well, first time commenting on a live. Thank you both. Thank you. Ashmay has come wait 2 hours in line to smell Russia bread.
Yes, and you spend 3 months' wages for a loaf of bread here in beautiful Mother Russia, which way better than your American crumbling country.
If you come with United States dollar, you can buy anything you want here.
Yes, and you help fund our multipolarity.
Ida, thank you, AP, for understanding what I was talking about. You're welcome. That's what I do for a living. Astro and AP should make a video for reciting the Zut Hadith in Turkish for fun. Why? Why in Turkish? Is there something special about Turkish there? Oh, just for Turks.
They might not know about the Zut there.
I guess I could. That's a good idea. Ash Mays, IRGC guy reminds me of Beaker of the Muppets. I don't know anything about the Muppets because I'm Turkish.
Which IRGC guy?
Maybe the Parliament guy that was just on screen, who was just talking.
Beaker from the Muppets just talked like this. Me, me, me. I can't even do it high enough. Me, 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 me. But it was higher than that. Me, 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 me. Oh, unless he's talking about like what he looked like.
Yeah, one of the most recent propagandists is actually this woman.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to be the next Candace.
Some people may have come across her. May have come across her. Carrie Pre-Jean Bowler. I had no idea who or what this is until a few weeks ago when she started exploding. Not in the Muslim sense, but exploding on social media and on the news and all that for for being against Jews. And then I ignored her for a while. Then I started looking into her, like, who is this woman? I have no idea who this even is.
I remember her for the Miss California thing. She was runner-up because she got asked by who was it? It was a brother of some. It was someone where the dude's only people only know who the dude is because of like his sister, right? Might have been one of the Kardashian brothers or something like that. Anyway, but she was walking up, and so he said, and they get to ask the question, and so he didn't like her, so he asked her the question, "Hey, what do you think about gay marriage?" or something like that, knowing that it would like split the audience and stuff like that. And everyone else is getting, how would you bring about world peace and stuff? And how would you help the homeless and blah, blah, blah. And he asked her, "Hey, what do you think about gay marriage?" And I think she was the front runner. And then, so anyway, the point was, it was a big story back then that he basically, he derailed her by doing that because he didn't like her.
It's, that is the only part of her story that is actually kind of based. And then you can quickly see, it is quickly revealed what a nut job she is. And what a narcissistic
total
liar she
narcissist and nut job. By the way, I saw it back then. So he asked her the question, then she lost Miss California specifically because of that question. But then, it was you're just look, this poor nice girl got derailed by this and so on. But after that, people were showing, actually, she doesn't seem so innocent. I don't know what this is, but I've seen that mentioned. But what I do recall from back then was people were posting pictures of her with some neo-Nazi looking dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but what basically happened is, and I guess you could go into a story. Maybe I could actually sit down and record. The only reason I don't want to
let's see if I can find
do a special thing about her is the stuff that you are exposed to when you start researching her history. But basically, she was part of Miss USA. She was asked a question, then she got in trouble over the question. Then she started playing the victim over other things because information came out about her that wasn't really secret. That she was that she posed for lots of like nude photos and semi-nude photos that are public for different agencies while doing the whole Miss USA thing, which is what she's not supposed to do. It also came out that she had a tape of her private sexual activities that she herself recorded and spread. But she kind of denied all of that and claimed that the nude photos were taken accidentally, which when you look at the photos, it's like she's literally posing for them. She started claiming that it was accidental because she became aware that it all breaches her contract with Miss USA. So she started lying about it and saying they were not meant to be nude photos. They were not meant to be semi-nude photos. No, they were accidentally taken. They were taken in the wrong moment. And people are interfering in her private life. And it's just because of her religious... What she did then is she accused Miss USA and others of discriminating her against her because of her religious beliefs and her values. That's not what they were doing. She does the very same thing today. Donald Trump gave her a second chance and put her on the Religious Liberty Council or Commission, where she started attacking Jews and defending Islamists, for which she was kicked out of the Religious Liberty Commission. And she now claims that she was removed because she's a Catholic. The commission has 3 Catholics, including bishops, who are also not Zionists, by the way. But she's one of the current big propagandists who are blowing up. And thousands of stupid idiots who love to take lies spread her propaganda for her. It's incredible.
I remember the picture with her with like a Nazi or skinhead or something like that. I can't find it.
Black Angel finds it very important to let everyone know that she was a Protestant back then when she was doing all those bad things. Thank you, Black Angel, for that clarification as a Catholic. And more. Finally, I'm here to confront you on your lie, AP. You said Mohammed Hijab lost millions of pounds to Dr. Murray. I just saw him and he's as fat as ever. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Cybermails. Zutopoli, first to collect 30 meeples wins. Funny. Jens Philip, justice for Khaybar. Yes. If the attacks in Saudi, etc., hadn't been reported yet, how did Tucker know about them? Why buy a house in Qatar? He's guilty and should shut up. He should. Smoggy talks. Notice TC's voice elevates when he lies. Tucker Carlson's. Yes. Great to see the interview in the Coptic church, says Soon Heaven. Great to see the interview, AP, in the Coptic church. Which interview in the Coptic church? You mean the one from ages ago? I'm glad, but
yeah, on their channel, that was like last year sometime.
That was like 50 million years ago. Coptic. Did they put something new out? I don't know. But yeah, that was like half a year ago or so. I went to visit Coptic Christians. It was very nice, man. I love those people. Love Coptics. Love Coptics. Love Copts.
What? You love cops?
Copts. We want to smell the bread, says Steph. In Russia, supermarket shop at you. It says she's followed by Hitler. My brain stopped reading the full name. Oh, you mean this here?
I couldn't find it. I remember a picture with her with some skinhead dude, skinhead neo-Nazi, one of those dudes.
Followed by Hitler.
Followed by Hitler hated Christ.
This account is actually a very good account. Yeah. Hitler hated Christ on Twitter.
But it's funny that it says followed by Hitler if you don't keep reading. You should crop out the rest.
Yeah. This guy is a Christian guy who has this account who points out how much Hitler hated Christ and Christianity. Would definitely recommend a follow. All right, man. So, been doing stuff. For Tucker Carlson's summary, Tucker Carlson publicly admits that he has been engaged in some very questionable behavior and relationships with.
I don't
the
know
Islamic regime
why.
in
I mean,
Iran.
talking to someone's not illegal.
He's probably going to get in big trouble for that, and I hope that he does, because treachery like his should have consequences. That said, we're waiting on official confirmations of something happening to him. That would be very, very nice.
He's innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
At which point he will be executed.
Yes. And anything else, David? Nothing? All right. So I just published a video for those who haven't seen it yet. I'm back doing videos, and the first
You did a video.
The first of those was the one that I wanted to make as my return video or comeback video for the longest time. And I did. And it's about how Muhammad became Baphomet. So, if you haven't seen the video, it's called How Muhammad Became Baphomet. Check it out. Very solid information. And we'll continue making videos. I recorded several more videos, which are currently in production, that shall be coming out soon, inshallah. So follow, subscribe, like, and stuff. And David, what are we doing? Are you going live tomorrow?
I don't know.
Why
no one knows. No one knows what your mystery schedule is.
I'm available.
You're available tomorrow?
Of course.
Then by golly, we'll be going live tomorrow, everyone.
Then let's do it. Let's go live tomorrow.
Imagine a world where we're going live regularly and cranking out videos regularly, man.
In a world
and
where people go live regularly.
And the entire time pumping that Zoot coin.
In a world where people pump the Zoot coin. In a world where people send Zoot to the moon. All right. Yeah, so we're going to pump the Zoot. And what's wrong with you, man? And go live and make videos. Thank you for watching and joining. Until then, as always, have a fantastic day. And as it usually goes with these events, hang on. For years, Tucker said Snowden was a traitor. Now all of a sudden, Snowden is a victim like him. That's funny. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Thanks, everybody, for watching. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Pump and dump, just like they did with Muhammad.
Stay away from Islam.